So, Dante, what have you made of Comic Con Manchester so far? And more importantly, what are the best costumes you've seen here so far?
Well, so far, I've been in Manchester for like 24 hours, and it's my first time here. But very, very cool city so far, I have to say. And for as far as the Comic Con, very cool. And the coolest costume I've seen so far as cosplay is by far Captain Caveman. Captain Caveman! He was good.
Right, we're here to nerd out about films and find out more about your love of cinema and television. So I want to know, off the bat, what is your guilty pleasure film, what's your comfort film, and what's your number one favourite film of all time? It's a tough one.
So, me and my fiance, we do a thing called Monday Cinema Club,
Nice.
which we watch a different movie every week. We started during the pandemic, and I love film, so I'm a film kind of buff guy. But so let's break it down. In my jet lag situation, give me. Let's go one film.
Excuses
Let's
here.
go one film at a time. Let's go one film at a time. What was the first one?
Comfort.
Comfort film. What's that film with Ryan Reynolds where the Friends film? And I swear,
The Free Guy one.
no, not Free Guy. I'm talking about the romantic comedy. I like
Is it Just Friends? Is it called Just Friends?
Friends.
Okay.
That's a good comfort film.
Wow.
Yeah, that film was dope. I watch when that will come up on like cable or something, or I see it, I'll like watch that. And
Like a good rom-com.
a good rom-com. That one in particular is pretty comfort film.
I like The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. That is an underrated rom-com.
I did watch The Proposal. In the theater too, I think.
Me too. 2008, same year as The Dark Knight. I can tell you that now.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember The Dark Knight. I have no memory of The Proposal, but I do like Ryan Reynolds.
Yep, that tells you everything. Dark Knight 2008 dominated the whole year. Didn't get nominated for an Oscar. That is ridiculous, isn't it?
It is ridiculous to a degree, except for, and I'll preface this for everybody out there, and I talk to other friends of mine. Most of us can't name the last 5 best films.
Goes to show.
So it goes to show, like, who cares?
I still can't remember the one in 2008. Might have been Slumdog Millionaire, which was fantastic. That was a brilliant
Yeah,
film.
Yes.
But everyone still talks about The Dark Knight. This is a fun one, right? If you had to live in a world from cinema or television for a week, where would it be and why?
Anywhere in the world of cinema?
Yeah, so for example, you could live in Star Wars, you could live in Harry Potter, Avatar,
Yes.
anything.
Damn, for 1 week only.
For 1 week, if you can survive.
Oh, yeah. What would be a good one? I mean, as a child, it would be Star Wars, for sure. But as an adult, I like Harry Potter. If I can be a wizard, am I going to be a wizard?
Well, you tell me, are you good or bad? Are you going to be a good wizard or are you going to join Voldemort's army?
I'm Gryffindor.
You're Gryffindor.
You see Gryffindor?
We see it.
If I be Gryffindor, plus, London's not a bad place to hang out for a week. Hang out, a lot of, I like Brits, we chilling.
You could just go to the studio tour. I say go and do that now. Go to Watford, do the studio tour, and just stay there overnight for a week.
But I need the magic. I need like my wand situation. I need to be on point with some things, Yeah, I would say Harry Potter. Harry Potter's a good play. You be comfortable. At least we're in a modern world.
Yeah.
People will say other things, but you're like, nah, man, that's not gonna be fun.
Game of Thrones, Westeros, you're not gonna cut it in there. That is full of brutality.
Super brutal, and the cuisine is not.
No.
You're gonna be eating some.
Well, you might get fed some brains.
You can get killed easy. In Game of Thrones.
In the nastiest ways.
So I'm Gryffindor. I'm also Fire Nation, and I'm probably a Lannister. But like none of the food on the show is that great. Like this is like before people start seasoning things. So you're just eating like whatever they did on fire. That's it. And even like the wine, like they're drinking like little Tyrians drinking a lot of wine, but that wine's not good wine. That's not Napa Valley.
You're really thinking about this. You were going into it.
I've seen the jugs of wine. I'm like, that is like not great grapes that are like. Aged.
They always spit it out, don't they? Always drink it.
That doesn't look good. It's horrible. It's like mead and like just something you boil in a pot or something. So yeah, it would be cool, but you get killed there easy.
Yeah,
easy.
You're not lasting a week in there. I'm not lasting a week in there. I'm lasting a day in there.
I know, and you realize we're just watching the rich people That's all Game of Thrones is. It's
Unless
the
you-
rich people in those days.
If you want to be a king there as well, you got a target on your back, so you're just not safe.
I know, and it's like there was like those are some of the cool kings, but there was some whack kings in there too. Like those were
Mad
kings
kings.
too, but other little tribes and other little like they have little kingdoms and like their stuff didn't look sexy at all.
No.
Their situation was horrible. I was like, I want to be with the Lannisters and that's it. Starks are cool, but then
Just stay in your castle.
yeah, you gotta stay in your castle.
Right. In comparison, what is the scariest film you've ever seen, and then the funniest film you've ever seen?
Okay, I don't like scary films. I'm not into scary
But
films.
something must have scared you in order for you not to like them.
Yes. Well, I was there's a movie called what was it, starring Demi Moore, and it was like it was about the end of the world,
Right.
and it was biblical. I think it's called The Fifth. No, that's not The Fifth Element. That's something else. But it's like, do you guys know? No, it's an 80s, 90s
I'm
film.
struggling. I know what The Fifth Element is. That's Bruce
It's
Willis.
not The Fifth Element, but it's like something like that. It's like the end of times. This is a thing because I grew up Catholic, and we like a lot of Bible study. So when I see things that are like biblical and they're talking about the end of days and all this stuff,
done.
and Demi Moore, that kind of gave me nightmares of like, oh, this was a bad situation. Those movies are dark to me. But the Fifth Sign, I don't know. I don't
We'll
know.
have a Google after. We'll have a go through Demi Moore's IMDb page, and
Yes.
we'll find it. And it might not even have a fifth in it. It might just be something completely different.
I don't know why I came up with the fifth element. It's definitely the fifth sign of the apocalypse. I don't know. Something like that. And then what was the funniest movie?
Yes.
My go-to's Step Brothers.
Whew.
Classic.
Absolute classic. Absolute classic.
mean-
What's your favourite quote from it?
I mean, there's so many.
Did we just become best friends?
I mean, there's so many quotes from that film. I mean, I love, so, I mean, I'm just not, and I'm not just anybody.
Living in a world from TV or film, you'd just live with Dale and Brennan. Build bunk beds. That'd be incredible, wouldn't it?
That movie is classic, all time. I could watch that movie on a loop forever.
Just don't be bottom bunk. That is the rule. Don't be bottom bunk.
That movie's classic.
You know when he gets on the top of the bunk bed, John C. Reilly, and he says, Brennan, do you like guacamole? We never found out if you like guacamole because the bed crushed him.
Oh, yeah.
That's like my biggest thoughts coming out of that film. We never knew if Brennan liked guacamole.
I mean, I also have brothers, so there's things that like ring true when brothers just being like crappy to each other, and they got into it so quickly. It was hilarious.
All right, gonna go a bit deep here.
Okay.
What's the one film that always makes you cry?
What always makes me cry? I don't know. It changes as you get older. As like, there's these sentimental films. I mean, the other thing about my parents, something makes me think of my parents and things that are like, as they get older, and then you think, any of these films where it deals with like parents and time that's passed, that kind of family stuff gets me teary-eyed. I mean, as a kid, I think E.T. was the first film I ever cried in as a child. And then I'm trying to think of the last film that really got me. I don't know. I can't think. I mean, I can't think of it at the moment. But any of these films, when they're like, when a parent's passing away, because as my parents are getting older, it gets me now.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I'm like, damn, they got me. They got me.
What's the best film score you've ever heard?
God, you're going in film score.
We're nerding out right now.
I know. So I'm not. I was never a big film score guy. A friend of mine, he's like rolling around town, blasting film scores. Like that's his like
That is sick.
Drake.
That's
Like
so cool.
He's pulling up, listening to stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like all the John Williams stuff is like classic because you think about Jaws. Just watched Indiana Jones last night to hear. I mean, he does stuff that's like
Legendary.
Star Wars.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Like I almost can't think of
he's done.
anybody else.
Yeah.
It's like he's so ingrained in your mind when you hear something, and even out of just John Williams stuff, it's like just because it's on my mind, because I just watched Indiana Jones last night. It's like dun 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 dun. Like that's like
Just makes you all cheerful and
it
happy,
makes you
doesn't
cheerful. It makes you go want to jump on a horse or
Yeah.
kick through a door or do it's something crazy.
Yeah.
And just seeing Harrison Ford do
get
it
the
at
whip
like
out.
80, you're like, oh, I can be
be
Indiana Jones for till I'm 80.
Yeah.
I can theme music. That's a. 'Cause I think there's so many ones that are great, Jaws and all that, but like I think that you want to wake up to that.
Yeah.
I think, and like that'll get me to start. Like that we can get it going with that. I think Dante, that's not gonna get it going, and like even like Star Wars, you know, I don't know if it's gonna be that inspiring. But there's also we gotta think about what's my guy from Nine Inch Nails. He does great scores.
Yes. Trent Reznor. Yeah, amazing.
Elfman does great
Danny
scores.
Elfman, yeah.
Danny Elfman does great scores, and
Hans Zimmer.
I'm gonna say Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer. He's legit.
So many. Michael Giacchino, who did the Batman score.
Okay.
Unreal.
You know, who does a lot of scores too. You don't know Clint Eastwood.
He just scores.
His own movies.
He scores his own films.
His own films.
Wow.
Watch his movies. He's scoring them. Fucking Clint Eastwood. He's a big jazz dude. If you watch his films and you're like music by Clint Eastwood, my guy is in there directing and doing the friggin' music. Clint Eastwood. You guys, check it out. It's impressive.
What are your go-to things to do on a day off?
I feel like I haven't not a lot of day offs lately, but I mean I ride motorcycles,
Nice.
so I'll take a ride on a motorcycle, and my day off, like I don't even know, man. I'm like looking for that day off right now. I like to travel a lot,
Okay.
so like travel, go to water, ski, or like surf or something like Hawaii. I don't know, like a day off. Yeah, I have to go somewhere now, but on a regular day off in LA, probably just ride a motorcycle. I'll shop. I'll go shopping my day off.
Yeah.
I'll go shopping.
Nice. Right, well, it's been tremendous speaking to you,
But
Dante.
what about those first other movies? We didn't think about it. The first question was the first question.
Oh, yeah. We had a...
We did the...
We got off on a tangent there, didn't we?
We did.
We had
So let's
guilty
just finish
pleasure
it. Guilty pleasure
and
was after
favourite
that.
of all time. You didn't actually say that.
Oh, my favorite of all time. Okay.
We got distracted there.
We got distracted. But you can't ask favorite of all time to people. You know that, right?
I know, you can't.
You gotta-
but I just wanted to do it
You
anyway.
gotta go, especially for film people.
I can't name my favourite of
always
all time,
ask
by the way.
3. You always, what's your top 3?
Go on then.
And for that, it can change at any time. It's just in this moment.
Well,
what's
I'll
your top
ask it you
3?
again tomorrow. Ask it
Yes.
you today and ask it you tomorrow.
You gotta say top 3 because it's too many films.
True,
We
very
can't
true.
define ourselves on one film. It's crazy. Top 3 films
Go.
today, right now.
Right now.
I would say, okay, I'd say John Travolta in Grease was probably one of the reasons why I started acting. I was a dancer, I was an actor. Danny Zuko.
Amazing.
I'll go there. And then I would say, okay, there's this movie that's probably, I always say it's my favorite movie ever. And no one really knows this old classic film called A Place in the Sun,
Okay.
starring Montgomery Clift. And it's just a haunting film that has haunted me my whole life as far as, I don't know, it's just a great story. And Monty Clift was an actor that I always looked up to. And then my third film, let's do like a modern class, Pulp Fiction.
Nice.
Pulp Fiction, for sure. I think it's a Tarantino, man. Everyone chasing. He's almost done with his 10 films, but I think a lot of people are still chasing him. And I think, what do you think? Out of the 10 films,
What's my favourite?
what's your favorite?
Oh, now that is a tough one. Pulp Fiction was the one that immediately gripped me. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is massively underrated and overlooked, I think. Like, I know it was his last film. Absolutely adored that. I'm meandering around your question because I'm trying to think about.
Out of the 9.
So good.
Hateful Eight was pretty good.
Hateful
for a
Eight.
Western.
Maybe Django.
Django legit.
Django was the first one of his I watched in the cinema. So 2012. I actually snuck in that when I was about 14 or something.
Oh, you're a kid.
Yeah, my dad-
Django was your first one you ever watched in the cinema?
First Tarantino film I watched in the cinema. Yeah. So,
What?
Inglourious Basterds came out 2009. So I'd have been
Inglourious
like,
Bastards is all-time great. One of
Yeah.
all-time greats. What else was there? Jackie Brown.
Bills.
Kill Bill 1 and 2. Which I think the first is better than the second, but hey,
Reservoir Dogs.
it's all-time great classic.
He's too good. He's ridiculously good. It's hard. I think that's another thing. Like your top three, that will just interchange. Like sometimes Once Upon a Time is my favorite. Sometimes Pulp Fiction is my favorite. And then I'll watch Django or Inglourious again. I'll be like, nah, that's my favorite.
I haven't heard Jackie Brown. I didn't like Jackie Brown when it came out. I wasn't vibing with it. People are saying go watch Jackie Brown again. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I got to go back and watch Jackie
Me too.
Brown. And what did we miss a film?
We've got Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1 and 2, Inglourious, Django, Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Would you
9.
count? That's 9?
Is that 9?
Was anyone counting? I'm guessing it was.
Also, we went back and watched the film he wrote, which is also phenomenal. The before he did Reservoir Dogs, True Romance, dude. Go back and watch that. That's
Christian Slater.
killer. We watched that film. I was like, yo, True Romance is crazy.
Gary Oldman as a psychotic villain.
What's your favorite one?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think. I watched it in IMAX 70mm when it came out in 2019.
Yeah. I think I gotta be Pulp Fiction still for me because I think it's so crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
And even with Reservoir Dogs, but not much money, he killed it.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what he does at number 10.
We've both not really made a decision. We'll make a
hard.
decision after number 10, right? Yeah.
After number, we can't really make a true decision until after 10.